I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, family? Welcome to the channel. It's your girl, DYANAROZAY. I am finally on this platform. Y'all, I meant to come on yesterday, but child, it was a long day. So I am here right now. We are talking about episode 11 of Potomac. I hope y'all had a chance to see the other episodes. I worked real hard to catch up. So make sure y'all watch them. Y'all remember Jamie and Irena Tyler from Love and Marriage DC. He actually came over and watched my video last night. He left a comment. Y'all know I was telling y'all about Cookie. And I said that Cookie is a hot ass mess, that she had a criminal, a felony, actually, several felonies, it looks like, spent time in the pokey. And I told y'all what was going on with them and Winter. Winter, it looks like Cookie was the culprit. She was the one who was sending all that information to Winter, and everybody knows Cookie, okay? If y'all watched the show, then y'all would know what was going on. Anyway, he came into the comment section and he said, "You nailed it." And she still has 7 or more fake pages still trolling cast members. So look, Cookie's dedicated to trolling, somewhat like, you know, the Love and Marriage Huntsville trolls, even though I know a lot of those trolls are paid. But there's a lot of trolls that are dedicated to coming over and trying to fuck up your shit. Okay. But we are here to talk about episode 11. Okay. So make sure y'all watch all of them. Hit my like button and share the video, please. And thank you. Who do I have in here today? Thank you, Miss Lady D Keys, for coming in from Seattle. She is a moderator. Anyone that you see with the wrench behind their name, they're here to make sure you have a good time. Okay. So y'all can talk in the chat if you like, or y'all can stay mute if you like, whatever floats your boat, okay? So anyways, it opens up with Tia and her brother, DG, I think that's how she pronounced the name, DG or Deji. Anyway, they're hosting some sort of polo event, or they want the girls to, I guess, experience how they grew up. Y'all know Tia was Richie Rich child, but apparently her father was a Rolling Stone. So he had kids with her mama, and then he also had kids with another woman across town, okay? Anyway, she looks like she's friendly with all of them. Come on in, welcome you guys. Looks like she is friendly with all of them. So this particular brother who lives over there in the Hamptons decided to come down to Maryland and hang out with the girls, okay? Now they all load themselves into a Mercedes Sprinter, and Wendy is dressed head to toe designer, all white with her white brim child. Wendy got to come and let the girls know. I know y'all thought that I was that one, even though we're about to see what's going to happen in this court case, which happens this week. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's Friday. I think it's Friday that Wendy's going to have her case. But anyway, all the girls are dressed up on the Sprinter, and I think it's Jazzy who asks, "Wait a minute, we missing somebody. Where's Stacy?" Right? So she gets downloaded on how Tia and Stacy, flipped out at Stacy's event. Stacy told her to get the hell out. So she said, "Hell, she kicked me out of her event. I damn sure am not inviting her to mine." Okay. That's when Jazz says, "I don't know what y'all have, why y'all have it in for Stacy. I don't see what y'all see. I've never seen the girl lie. So I'm going to stay cool with Stacy until she proves to me there's a reason not to be cool." Okay. And that's when Ashley pipes up, because y'all know Ashley loves to stir shit. Her nickname should be Shit Stirrer. Okay. But Ashley chimes in and said, "How could you say that? You know she didn't want to go to your wedding, right?" And Jazz is like, "No, she was at the wedding." She was like, "Yeah, but she didn't decide to come until she found out that we were all going." Anyway, Production rolls the footage back. You hear Stacy say it's clear as day, yeah, I should be there. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of shit that's going on. In the scene, she says, I got a lot of things that's going on. So it may be that my business take precedent, but I am going to try to be there. And then she said like something like, we don't have any problems. So why are you making one? Basically, we don't have any problems. So why would you make one? Anyway, that's what production played to make Ashley look like a dumbass. And then Jazz is like, all the same. I don't have the smoke for her that y'all have for her. Anyway, now the girls are all at the event, okay? And when they get there, I think it's Giselle who says, listen, we are the only specks of black in this motherfucker, okay? She's taking a look around. There is a lot of upper echelon, I'm assuming, at this event. I don't know. But I do know that the white men that were there seemed to be very enthralled with the black girls, to the point of where, you know how sometimes you walk into spaces and you can tell they want to touch your hair or touch your skin? It was like that. They were like looking at them like they were aliens from outer space. And Giselle was like, God damn, like, thank God these cameras are here, because I don't know if we would be safe otherwise. However, Tia and her brother, they seemed good. They didn't think it was a problem. Anyway, Tia said that she had previously asked Angel, who we're going to affectionately call Eeyore, from Winnie the Pooh, the one that's always depressed and down. She called herself that name, so it's going to stick. So anyway, Tia said, I had already previously asked Angel if she would like to sing the national anthem, okay? And Giselle said, listen, okay, because y'all know Giselle's dad was a civil rights activist, okay? What was his name? Giselle's dad's name is something like Garver, or Curtis Graves. Curtis Graves. Anyway, she said, we ain't gonna sing the traditional national anthem, baby. We gonna sing Lift Every Voice and Sing our national anthem. Our national anthem. Giselle wasn't even supposed to sing. It was supposed to be Angel. But Giselle said, we all singing today, bitch. Okay, we gotta let these people know. That shit was actually funny. And then they all sung Lift Every Voice and Sing together. Mess. Anyway, while they were singing, even while they were singing, you could tell that some of the people were entertained, some, mostly the men. And then there were the white women who looked like they were fit to be tied. They knew exactly what the shit they were doing, and they didn't like it at all, okay? Child, they were lucky to make it out of there without getting, dragged someplace. Anyway, after all of that, I believe it is Jazzy who pulls Ashley aside to have a sidebar. And for whatever reason, she's like, tell me a little bit more about what happened, why Stacy didn't want to come to my wedding. Anyway, Ashley decides to be a shit starter again, and she's giving her all this negative information about Stacy. Hey sis, thank you for coming in. And she gives her all this negative information about Stacy, and I don't know what the hell Jazz is going to do with it, but she takes it in, right? After that, everybody sits down and they start to eat. They're having a little round table discussion. This is where Ashley decides to make Angel work for her check. And she said very, very little, okay? Ashley looks over at Angel and said, listen, you said before that you felt like you may have been left out of the group, or we weren't doing enough to include you. How do you feel now? And Angel says that she feels a little okay, you know what I mean? And then after that, I think Ashley said, we still don't know enough about you, or something to that extent. And then Angel feels like she's being put on the spot. Like immediately she feels put on the spot. It does not take much. Angel's very, very insecure. And she says something like, well, I'm working on it. I promise you that I'm going to spend time with each one of you individually. Even Wendy, I'm going to spend individual time with you. And so now everybody's just looking crazy. And Wendy's eating her food like, I'm not even going to give this bitch another wink. You know what I'm saying? Because the last time they talked, she was telling her that she owed her an apology for the catfish comment. Wendy said, bitch, I didn't even call you a catfish. That was Giselle. So Wendy's like, I'm not giving you the time of day, even if you did ask, okay? I'm just not doing it. Anyway, after all of that, you can see the sourpuss expression come over Kay's face. Kay is a sourpuss, I promise. But when she says she's going to invite Wendy, Kay just looked like, you know what I mean? Either way, these two girls, we'll see what happens next. Now we go from that scene to literally Angel, Eeyore herself, and Bobby packing their shit so that they can go back to Denver. And it had me questioning whether she was really packing her things to leave to go to Denver, or she was packing her things to make her exit off the show, because there's only so much this girl can take. We all know somebody like this. They just don't have a lot of energy for certain things. This would be Angel. Angel lives she lives life in a bubble. That's the only way to explain it. She lives life in a bubble. If you're not feeding her a certain amount of kiss your ass kind of energy, she does not know how to deal. Okay. Anyway, they're at the house packing their things. And when I tell you that Eeyore, for the first time in episodes, she is lit up like a light bulb. Like, oh my God, can you believe it? We got to pack our things. And her husband, Bobby, is playing along because that's what he's supposed to do. Okay. So he's like, yeah, well, yeah, I'd rather be at home in Denver taking a shit on my own toilet than being here. Makes no sense. The reason why it makes no sense is because y'all both had scenes with your family members that's in Maryland where y'all basically were saying how you were happy to be closer to home and getting closer to your family and your parents because you have these little ones involved and you didn't have enough, family support in Denver. All the shit that y'all were saying is all of a sudden out the door. Let's go back to Denver so I can shit on my own toilet. That's what Bobby is saying in the scene, which is absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. But it made her look like she was running, period. Okay. She gives some story about how there must have been a mix-up or a misunderstanding about the dates. She's renting this home. She knows the dates of filming, right? It's supposed to be from this day to this day. She tells production that somehow the owners of the home misunderstood, and now a new family is on their way to rent the home. This is what she tells production. Now, I would think you would simply move into another rental, like find yourself an Airbnb for a little bit, move in with your family. That's right there. His parents are there. I believe your mom or dad, whoever you filmed with, was there. I think, if I'm not mistaken, but she says, nah, bitch, we got to take a plane all the way back to Denver. Okay. Who says that? Who says that about what? Anyway, after all of that, they're basically making it seem like we're gone for good, because the cameras film in Potomac, right? They don't have a Real Housewives of Denver. They have a Real Housewives of Potomac. So when she's saying that, I'm getting the impression they're gone. She didn't say anything else about trying to find a house in the Maryland or Potomac area, nothing, right? Even though we know they were looking for properties. Long story short, here comes Tia and Kay. They come walking in the door, and you can tell that Kay is hearing this information for the first time. So she's looking around like, what y'all got going on? And she sees the boxes are open. And Angel's like, yeah, we got to move, girl. This is a rental and there was a mix up. And she was like, what? I mean, this is Kay. What? Wait a minute. Angel's trying to feed her this real nice package answer. Kay says, Bobby, what's going on? Like, that's supposed to be your best friend. She was like, bitch, you ain't telling me what's up. Bobby, what's going on? He's on the side like, what do you want me to say? I don't even know what to say, right? And then here comes Tia in the building, and she's doing the same thing. She goes, you're leaving for good? Are you still trying to look for properties, right? You had a realtor. And she's like, yeah, we're still looking for properties, but we're just going to do it from Denver now. We're just going to do it from Denver now. And she's like, girl, That makes no sense whatsoever. She said, we need you here. Like, you're supposed to be here. It's too soon for you to be leaving. And then Tia says, you know, I'm a luxury realtor, right? Like, I could help you find property if that's the thing. Now, while she's saying all of this, Bobby is standing like on the side, and he's like looking at everything like, this is going left. Like, this is not what you and I discussed. You know what I'm saying? You can see it in his eyes. You can see him looking like, bitch, the next move we make is going to be the Bellevue for you. Okay. I'm going to call it a 5150 right now. We packed up everything to come down here, and now we're moving back to Denver. And now you're telling me that I'm supposed to go back and forth with you so you can film? No, find a way to figure this shit out. Anyway, it all seems like lies. It all seems like lies. Come on in. Welcome, you guys. I appreciate y'all. Hit my like button and share the video. Okay? Hit the like button and share the video, babes. Anyway, Bobby looked like he was about to flip out. And he even does this thing where he goes, well, shit, if Tia's a realtor, then why weren't we using Tia? Like, what's going on? You know what's going on. You know your wife can't handle it. You know she can't hang. And this is just the universe letting all of us know that it's time for her to step. Okay? In the old school 1990s, I'm gonna need Angel and you, both of y'all step, because she's making you and her look real dumb on this show. I promise. I promise. Okay? Anyway, after all that goes down, they leave, right? At least Tia leaves. Maybe Kay stuck around for a little bit. Bobby went out on the porch. You see Angel calling for him, and usually he's very attentive to Angel. This time he acted like he didn't even hear her. You could tell he was done. I just want to sit on this porch, and I've already called these people to move us back onto the Denver area. All we have is our clothes, and now we got to go back and get more clothes. Why the hell does billionaires need to fly all the way back to Denver to get new clothes when he was giving you $5,000 to spend at the flea market? You're not making sense, Angel, and this is how we know you're lying. Get off the show, girl. I'm going to tell you, what you say on this show is forever immortalized. The problem with reality TV, like little everyday lies that everybody tell, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes they just go away because shit, you keep moving, you keep moving. But what y'all say on the show, you only have so much time. So you got to say it in a way that makes sense. But don't try to convince us that your husband's just dropping off $5,000 for you to spend on a random fucking Saturday. But you got to fly all the way back to Denver to get your clothes, to get more clothes because you ran out. It makes no sense. Anyway, I don't know what to say other than she's annoying. Okay. He's making himself look stupid and he looks useless. Okay. Is he the man of the household or is Angel? I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but Angel is definitely dealing with something. Okay. At first I said maybe it was the hormones and, things are a little wonky over there. So, that pregnancy brain is a thing. She probably still got some shit going on, but Angel is so super sensitive to absolutely everything that she crumbles anytime she's presented with the smallest challenge. I get the impression based on what I saw at the end that maybe Bobby might yell at her or get on her ass a little bit. He doesn't do it in front of the cameras, but he might have some extra energy that we're just not seeing. Angel's coming across dumb on camera, but I'm guessing that it gets on Bobby's nerves and he lets her have it based on what we saw at the end. Okay. But I'm going to tell you about it when we get there. Anyway, Tia's in the car, child. And when she is about this, did I finish that up? Yeah, Tia's in the car, child, and she is calling Giselle to give her the tea. She basically said, child, I was just over there at Angel's house. I had no idea that this bitch is about to pack up and move back to Denver. And within seconds, Giselle said, pack up to move back to Denver. She's like, we're filming. You know what I'm saying? She's trying not to break the fourth wall, but she can't help it. She was like, for what? She knew what time the filming schedule was over, like the rest of us. We all are under a contract. And when you break this filming contract, you lose your spot. Okay. You don't get paid out your full contract. That's just how it works. So Giselle said, did that bitch come down here to be on the show or what? Did she just come on here to get her spot on the show? And now that she realized she can't take it, she's flying back to Denver. Tia said, the second the words came out of my mouth, I wanted to eat them back up. She was like, no, I didn't say it like that, girl. I think she's just going to go there. And while she's in Denver, she's going to be looking for a property in Maryland. That's not how it works, though. That's not how it works, especially for the type of property she's looking for. She wants a property that has a boating dock and a pond and an ocean on the side. She needs half of the sky to only belong in her backyard. That's the type of shit you got to see with your own two peepers, okay? Period. And she don't know any realtors in that area enough that she trusts. And she damn sure don't trust Kay. Okay, or she would have had Kay look for a property before she even got there. So either way, it looks exactly the way it played out. Like she came on this show, realized she couldn't cut the mustard, and now she's leaving in the middle of the season. Anyway, come on in, hit the like button and share the video, please, and thank you. Now we have Wendy and Eddie. They are having a family moment with their cute little baby, their daughter. She's doing some activity. I don't know what. Gymnastics, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, Wendy and Eddie are having a fake conversation about their riches, okay? Wendy said, listen, child, you know, every room in this house is down, and I thought I wanted things one way, and now I done saw some more shit that I want to add to it or upgrade. Therefore, we done blew the budget, okay? If the budget was $100,000, it's well over $100,000, and you're just going to have to find something else, you know what I'm saying, that we can put on that insurance claim. I don't know. So Eddie's sitting there, you know, lightly shaking his head, but not really giving any type of oomph in regards to that, because I don't care who you are. Don't talk about the budget like it doesn't exist, Wendy. You still go to work, child. I mean, as far as I know, you still go to work. You're not a person that's just sitting on your ass and collecting your interest money. You know what I'm saying? But after she does all of that, she ends up talking about her strange relationship with her father. And Eddie said, listen, everybody has these type of family problems. I did too. The bottom line is you're going to have to just release your expectations of these people. Stop expecting them to meet your expectations and just enjoy them for where they are when they are. Okay. When you do that, you won't have all this worry. Good advice. Okay. That man has been the exact same way he's been to you all of his life. If I was you, I would just find a way to be happy without him. And it looks like you have, ma'am. Okay. Anyway, now we have Stacy, child. Stacy and Kay, they meet up for lunch. Stacy said, listen, bitch, I had to have a whole gummy to have this lunch with Kay because I want to be high when I talk to her. I already know she's going to give me problems. Okay, she said, I want to keep my happy energy. I want to say that Stacy looked beautiful when she came in. She's like really, her eyes and her cheekbones are so pretty to me. But anyway, she is sitting there looking like a supermodel child with her long, which model would always wear like a long hair? Naomi Campbell. She has this long Naomi Campbell wig on. Okay, that's what it is. And Kay comes in, and Kay already comes in. She's already with the shits. She's frowning before she starts. I kid you not. She sits down in the seat, and Kay, if you watch this scene, I want you from this point forward to always give everybody that you have a problem with the benefit of the doubt. Because you have such a bad memory. You don't remember what you say to offend people. You don't remember what you say to defend yourself. You don't remember shit. The way you got clocked yet again in this scene, it's mind-blowing. And you're not even sitting there like, you know what, bitch, maybe I should go to the doctor. Because you should. You should go to the doctor. That's how crazy you look. Anyway, they sit down. Wendy, I'm assuming Stacy is on cloud 9, okay? She high as hell. She don't look high, but she's feeling good. Anyway, I think they're doing tapas or some sort of shared plates because Kay said that she can't eat cheese. She said, whatever dish you get, just make sure it doesn't have cheese on it because I can't eat cheese. Stacy looks at the menu. Stacy looks at the menu when the waiter gets there. Whatever she ordered had a shit lunch. Had a ton of cheese on it. And she smiles. And I said, she got to be high. She didn't hear her say that she can't eat cheese. That puts Kay in the worst mood. Kay looks at her like, bitch, I just told you I didn't eat cheese. She looks over at the waitress and said, whatever you bring to the table, just make sure it doesn't have cheese on it. Okay? And the waitress says, fine. Okay. Then they get into it. Kay didn't waste any time. Kay basically said, listen, I don't like how you reacted to me or how you greeted me when we were over at Giselle's house. I walked in, you didn't say hi, bye, nothing. You wasn't warm with me. And Stacy let her talk. She let her get it all out, okay? And she nodded her head. And Stacy said, listen, let's walk it back, bitch, because it wasn't just me not talking to you. And she reminds her, I didn't have a problem with you. You came at me about some shit that wasn't your business, by the way. You came at me trying to co-sign what Wendy and everybody else was saying. And you was calling me a liar and said I was squeezing out tears and blah, blah, blah. She said, you had your finger in my face and every fucking thing. And you want me, when I see you the next go round, to be warm and fuzzy with you? For what? What did I do that made y'all think I was so nice that I'm somehow starving for your fucking friendship? I'm not. Don't take my kindness for weakness, okay? I'm adding these words because that's what it is. Y'all look at Stacy and you think because she, she has that little, what do you call it? Tiara type wave and shit, that she's not going to get at y'all, that she doesn't know enough, that she's not going to think enough. Y'all think she's a little dumb girl on the school ground that's begging for your friendship. She said, I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm not begging for your friendship. I'm never going to say hi to you after you play a number like that and don't apologize to me. You started this. And she didn't lie. They ran them cameras back and it was Kay who started it, just like she started it with Wendy. Okay. So she's sitting there, instead of her saying, damn, I forgot. Or, you know what? You're right. Let me apologize. She doesn't do that. She doesn't do that. She decides to raise her 10. Okay. She done pushed her chips into the center of the table and said, well, bitch, here's my next problem. Okay. She said, listen, let's not forget that every time you see me, you act like you afraid of me. I don't play that. I'm not with that. I'm a very passionate person. So when I am passionate and I speak passionately, you're not going to weaponize that against me. Again, Stacy points out, first she says, fair. That's fair. I understand. Maybe you think that I've threatened or I put it out there that you're violent or whatever the case may be, because what the girl was actually saying was you weaponized my attack. Because I think every time Stacy sees her, she says, okay, look, there goes Mad Dog 2020, which she ain't got. That's not a lie. You do act ignorant. But she said you weaponize her getting hit over the head with a bottle. That's not funny, but it was just a way I showed myself like that. She said, you weaponized that attack against me. She said, okay, fair. However, I've never said that you was a violent person or anything like that, but we're not going to pretend like you don't buck up every time you see me going like this. So I think Stacy did something like this. When the cameras run it back, every single time Kay has a problem with Stacy, she's in her face and she's doing this. Now listen, I talk with my hands. I'm very expressive. I talk with my hands. I know that when I'm in spaces with people and I'm close to them, I don't do this. I don't do this ever. Okay? Like that's means you want something extra from me. Okay, if someone was doing that to me, I would find it a problem. And I know that if I was doing it to someone, that would be a problem. Kay wants Stacy to believe that when she does this, it's only because she's passionate. But we haven't seen her do that with Wendy. When she sat down on that damn seat to talk to Wendy, she did none of that. We didn't see that hand go up once. Okay? Who else does she have a problem with? I never seen her do it with Ashley. Never seen that finger do this when she's talking to Ashley. You only do it when you're talking to Stacy. Only do it when you're talking to Stacy. So that tells me everything that I need to know. I'm telling you right now. And you know what? Sometimes people just don't get along, okay? You have to figure out sometime in your growing up that you're not supposed to be around every energy, because there's some people that make you act out of character, even if you don't mean to. It's just, you're just opposite of each other, right? You have a bad temperament when you're around certain people. Kay has a bad temperament around Stacy for whatever the reason is. Stacy makes Kay act out of character because she doesn't do it with anybody else that she has a problem with. But Stacy says, cool, let's do this. In order to move forward, I'm not going to mention you getting your head cracked in, okay? And then for the future, because she said, bitch, let's not pretend. That's the other thing that Stacy reminded Kay of. She said, the fact that you went and told Monique without knowing anything at all, this is how I know you got it in for me. There's something about me that you want people to hurt me, or that you want to hurt me. You went and told a woman that's a stranger to you that I'm also a stranger to you for the most part. You have never seen a text message. You've never seen me and Chris together. Nothing. And you went and told her that I was dating her ex-husband. That's a problem, bitch. Okay? Anybody else would have fought you for that shit. Anybody else in this group would have fought you for that shit. Again, Kay says nothing. She says nothing when she's sitting there with her. In her confessional, she says, I don't know if Stacy is dating Chris Samuels or not, but I have seen pictures of them together. She sees a picture of Chris Samuels sitting in one seat and Stacy sitting on the side, not beside him, but on a different side of the table. That doesn't mean they're dating. That means that they were in the same room together. He's a football player. Everybody a stranger who doesn't know anything about that man at all would try to find a way to sit at the same table with him. Anyway, she already explained to y'all that she has hung out with him socially. Socially means there's other people at the table. And because that camera cut that picture off where you could only see those two seats, him sitting here and her sitting on the opposite side, there was clearly other people at the fucking table. Anyway, Kay says some shit like, if she don't want to live in her truth, if the kettle and the pot don't meet up with you, Kay, because you ain't living in your truth either. Didn't your mama tell you to leave that damn man alone? He ain't putting a ring on your finger. Anyway, Kay thought she's doing something with that. Everybody wants to throw this whole Chris Samuels bus at Stacy. Ain't nobody buying it, boo. Not one single person. Come on in, hit the like button and share the video for me, y'all. Please and thank you. I'm trying to give y'all the tea that nobody else catches when they watch these shows, child. For many, many years, almost 20 years, part of my job was to pay attention to all the shit that people didn't say, okay? And I got paid very well for it. So I watch this shit with a different set of eyes, I promise you, where everybody else feeds y'all. This one likes this one likes that one, okay? I promise y'all they don't talk about it that way. Anyway, after it's all said and done, Stacy said, okay, let's just, in order to move to the other side, child, let's do it this way. I won't make mention of you doing your rah-rah shit, which she's going to do it again. So you're going to have to mention it. And then she said, and you don't go around spreading false stories about me, trying to get me hemmed up in some bullshit without asking me first. Okay. If there's something you hear about me in these streets, do me the common courtesy of asking me first, and then at least believe in what I say. Either way, It's going to be a hot mess. These two are going to have the worst relationship on this show if Kay does move forward with another season, because I saw her on Andy Cohen's Watch What Happens Live last night. He don't like her. He don't like her, and she can't tell. She has such a she's not able to read a room, and that's dangerous. That's dangerous for you not to be able to sit in spaces and know how to adjust yourself because someone doesn't like your energy. Is in particular your boss. In particular your boss. So he was asking her questions like what did he say? He said, did your good friend Angel only show up on the season to be a part of the show? Like she had no real intention of staying through for the full season. And she was like, no, I believe that, it was just something that happened. And she said some shit like, how did she say it? She gets the same type of heat that Stacy gets, and everybody seems to love Stacy. She thinks that Angel's a better player and that more people should like Angel. Girl, you have no ability to read the room or anybody else's energy. You're watching the season back and you still don't see it. That's a problem. And then she says some other shit like Stacy kicked Tia out of her party trying to reenact what Giselle did to her. I'm like, well, first off, Stacy was actually leaving on her own. What Giselle did was overkill. She didn't have to go to that elevator at all. She could have let that girl get on the elevator and go down. She didn't even have a problem with her for real. So that's what makes what Giselle did just a little nastier and more ignorant. What Stacy did was say, bitch, you're at my function. Okay, and you're at my function trying to accuse me of some shit that, according to Stacy, I didn't do. You're making it out like I'm a liar. So I'm gonna need you to get your ass up and get out of here. She was showing respect for herself in her space. Giselle was doing something completely different. Anyway, I don't know, Kay. People seem to like you on this show. At least everybody else does. They're not giving you grief this season. But my guess is if you show up next season, they're going to ragtag your ass because you have a horrible memory. That's number one. And number two, it's so easy to get your goat. It's so easy. Anyway, after we get off of that scene, now we are at Giselle, Ashley, and Wendy. They are having drinks and gossiping about all the things that's happened, right? While they're sitting there, Angel sends an invite for them, all the girls, to go to Colorado. Angel said, well, they always complain that they don't get a chance to know the real me. So I'm going to bring them out to my environment so that they can learn me better. Nobody cares, girl, but they're going to take this free trip, I promise. So after all of that, Wendy said, speaking of Angel and moving, baby, she said, I happen to have a contact. I guess she might know the top realtor for the Maryland area. And she told me all about how a girl who was coming in to film needed a house to rent that looked like it was about a $50,000 a month home, but she only had to pay between $2,000 and $3,000 a month. When I tell y'all, Giselle damn near fell out of her seat when she heard that. She was like, bitch, okay, you lying to me. Ashley's over there like, oh my God, is Angel broke? Ashley, don't you live in an LLC? Don't you live in a house that's owned by Michael's LLC, bitch? Listen, you do way too much. Ashley don't know when to hold him and when to fold him, I swear to God. But yes, Miss Wendy is over there laughing and snickering, child. She said, that's what I heard. She's eating her shrimp. She's not giving it another thought. In confessional, Wendy said, listen, I don't really give a damn what she got in her pocket, girl. Go on ahead and get that discount. I care more about how you show up for the group than what you got in your bank account. I just find it interesting, because it is interesting, that every single moment on this show, you only lit up when you're talking about money or how many homes you got or what Bobby's about to buy for you next. That shit made you high. So if you're not really renting a $50,000 a month home, And you got these realtors out here talking about it when I thought that that was supposed to be a contract that was supposed to be quiet. You messing up. You must have really pissed some people off, child. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, they get that out there, which is definitely putting a cloud over Miss Angel's finances and what they have going on. Okay. All right, y'all. And this is the last scene. Last scene. Last scene. Giselle and Wendy are throwing some sort of cowboy event. I don't know why everything has to do with cows or cowboys and horses and shit this season, but it does. Anyway, they're all supposed to bring some sort of dish, a potluck, okay? And I guess whoever dish is the best, they win a gold medal at the end. So Wendy said 2 tears in a bucket. Okay. I'm making Popeyes because I don't even have a kitchen. So I can't whip up something in my kitchen. So they bring buckets of Popeyes chicken to the event. Okay. Who else? Who else? Ashley brings catfish. She brings catfish in honor of Angel because after she heard that she might be broke, or at least it planted the seed. I don't think they're broke at all. I don't think they're broke at all, but it planted the seed that she got some, some things she's trying to cover up over there with that money and how she spends. That made Ashley say, fuck it. I might as well go on ahead and eke out this catfish. The only problem with Ashley's catfish is that some of them pieces were light skinned. Okay. Nobody eats light skinned catfish and no one eats light skinned chicken. Those are the two things that there's no exception. So I was like, Ashley went from being married to Michael Darby and acting like, she had to be all the way up here to now she is eating fried chicken and catfish. And she talks with a black accent sometimes. I don't know. It's just funny to me. Anyway, who else brought a dish? I can't think of anybody else. I think maybe Jazz brought like macaroni and cheese. Anyway, people are trying to find out where Angel is because they want this catfish joke to go off. And I'm pretty sure production wants to have a scene where they have Angel talking about going for or leaving to go to Denver, right? So she's not here. She's not here. She's not here. And then sorry about that. They end up calling her. Kay calls her and she says, "Girl, where you at? We here, we waiting on you." And Angel says, "I'm pretty far away. I don't know how long it'll be before we get there because we're pretty far." But you hear Bobby chime in and say, "We'll get there when we get there." And he says it with, listen, it sounds regular schmegular to me, but everybody in the group, I'll put it this way, the group made it seem like it was aggressive. To the point of where Ashley was like, what the was that about? Like, and now Ashley's chiming in. We all know that Michael Darby cussed her ass out plenty, but she's like, why would he say it like that? And then I think some other people, maybe Giselle, started, why did she say it like that? Right? Then we have Miss Stacy. Other people are walking in after they call Angel. Stacy comes in and she brings her baby Bella. She brings her ex-husband, Themo, and she brings the potato salad. Now they gave her the potato salad on purpose because everybody knows you're not supposed to eat just anybody's potato salad, okay? And before the potato salad even arrives, people are already saying, bitch, I'm not eating that potato salad. I'm not eating the potato salad. It's just never going to happen. But she walks in with her potato salad. And I think Giselle goes over because everybody's so excited that she brought her ex-husband. So I think Eddie, Wendy's husband, is the first to introduce himself. He's like, hey, man, making him feel welcome. Eddie's real good for that. He's happy Eddie with everybody. And then everybody else start rolling in, the women, because everybody was making fun of her last season, right? And fun of her this season too. Y'all got to know she's going home and telling this man stuff. But they come in, the girls, Ashley's like, oh, wow, I wasn't expecting to see you here. And then she makes a comment in confessional. Oh, I'm real happy that she brought him because I was curious who's Themo and if she was ever even married. Girl. So every season that Giselle had her fake ass boyfriend, you were fine with that, right? Ashley, you got to do better, sis. Anyway, she's trying to poke all types of jokes over there on Stacy. Stacy's there. Giselle told the funniest joke of them all because she said, bitch, listen, I was wondering what a man that has a name Themo would look like. And she said, and I was right. He looks like exactly the way I would picture a Themo. Now, I'm not going to lie. He's not a looker, child. I'm not sure what he's giving. I want to say like the Beavis and Butthead cartoon, just in a human form. Whichever one of them, the tall one, not the short little, not the short little crazy looking one, but the tall crazy one. He puts me in the mind of that guy from the Beavis and Butthead cartoon. If you've never seen it, look it up. Anyway, he's just being regular schmegular. You know what I'm saying? He's not trying to give anybody any extra attention. Giselle said, Did you help Stacy make this damn potato salad? And he's like, no, I didn't. Why? And then he didn't just say he didn't. He almost looked at her like, why would I help her? You know what I'm saying? Like, leave me alone. He knows he's going to be the butt of that joke, and he didn't like it. Okay. So Stacy brings that potato salad to the table. And then she pulled out a little jar of Lawry's seasoning salt and said, bitch, just in case I need it for all of y'all nasty ass food. Okay. I'm going to just put it on the table for everybody. Okay. Come on in. Thank you. I appreciate you, boo. I appreciate you. Anyway, she said, I'm going to put that damn seasoning salt on the table for everybody because you want to make fun of my shit. Something tells me that light-skinned catfish might not be the bee's knees like you think it is, heifer. Okay? And she ain't lying. Anyway, after they do all of that, Wendy has to give out the award for the best dish. The best dish. And she starts calling out all the dishes, right? And she said, oh, we have to, give an award to Miss Ashley for making the catfish. And then everybody starts saying, yes, catfish. They say catfish 1,000 times, which makes Angel shrink. Like she's looking around like, why are they saying cat? Like all of a sudden she has PTSD. If anybody simply says the word catfish, she's gone. Okay. And she gets in her confessional. She said, what she does not like Wendy, because you can tell that she thinks that she's better than Wendy in every way. And there's something there. I don't know if it's colorism. I don't know if she thinks she's too ugly to talk to. I don't know what it is. But just like Kay has a real nasty issue with Stacy, that same energy is inside of Angel when it comes to Wendy. And she got some fucking nerve talking about catfish. Girl, the catfish is on the table. You better learn to laugh at yourself on this show. Listen, I'm happy you're going back to Denver. Bye. You are a sourpuss, Eeyore. Never come back over here. Let it be done. Okay? Anyway, she gets all of that ugly shit out, right? And Wendy caught it. Wendy knew exactly what she was doing, and she let her have it too. Because, bitch, you're not going to sit up here and tell me I owe you an apology, and you got an extra bone to pick with me about a word I didn't even call you. I simply explained what the shit meant. You got called a catfish by Giselle, but y'all still good sisters, right? Please. Anyway, Wendy caught that shit. And at the end, when they're all sitting around, Wendy said, listen, bitch, I'm not even going to hold you. Word in the street is that you got evicted, okay? That you couldn't pay the bill. Not that there was an issue with the date, okay? Because Ashley said, listen, you're a control freak. I see you with your kids and how this one got to be at there this time and what has to happen with this one at this time. And you don't miss a fucking beat. So how is it that you forgot the dates for filming, okay? Because that's what she's saying. How did you forget when you needed that house from this date to this date? And then she lets us know again that she was lying because she went, I don't know, it was just one of those things, girl. And Wendy just point blank said, bitch, you lying. Word on the street is you got evicted. Word on the street, because it looked like Wendy might have held back just a little bit. Word on the street is that house you was living in, you couldn't afford to pay the price to keep paying for it. So you got your ass up out of there. Okay. They got you up out of there because you wasn't paying the rent. And that's how it is, child. Anyway, that's it. Y'all catch up on my other stuff. I'm about to put out my thumbnail for the Braxtons. Anybody who follows me for the Braxtons, y'all know I did not get a chance to finish it. So come on back through, okay? And I got all the episodes. We're doing it all at one time, child, because it was mostly about that damn wedding of Tawanda's, and I'm not gonna have a whole lot to say about Tawanda's wedding. Okay, but anyway, that's it. That's all. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Make sure y'all all hit the like button and share the video, please, and thank you. Okay, let me get this full screen up. Follow me on all my platforms at DYANAROZAY. Thank you, Miss Lady D Keys, for helping out with moderating today. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me, and I'll check you on the next one. Bye-bye.